think when we set goals that are meant to impress other people than ourselves. And when we
Mhm,
set intentions, they are for us. They are something that we are going to do.
mhm.
And I think that's part of flipping the script.
Makes me think of the Halloween Town movie and the grandma teaching Marty how to fly, and they're flying and she says it's really magic's really that simple. Like you just have to believe in the thing that you want and set your intention on it and then let yourself have it.
I hope we leave all the listeners with for 2026. Not every day will be great. Not every day will be rainbows and fucking unicorns, but every day there is an opportunity to say yes to an experience, to let Gus be driving the bus, to show up in situations, be that work, be that social, as parents, what have you, to just show up and give yourself the opportunity to be curious. What can I learn? What joy can I find? What experience can I have?
Three women, three paths, one mission. To prove that your story is not your limitation, to guide you towards your muchness, to explore the unfiltered truths, and to challenge every bit of belief that built your mask. This is Go Be Too Much, the unapologetic space for the bold, the healing, and the unfinished, where we decide what's too much was always meant for more. So let's chat. Maybe we'll fuck around and find out just how unmissable we all are.
And I was like, "Do you know the definition of Tourette's is literally a spasm in your body that you can't control?" And they're like, "Oh." And I was like, "I can't just be like, come on, through the chest, let's go."
That was some perfect intro right there.
And on that note, welcome to Go Be Too Much, where we like to start shit off with a bang. But on this episode, we are going to be flipping the script and we're going to talk about how the New Year's resolution is an old way of thinking. And instead of setting New Year's resolutions, we should talk about setting intentions, something that sits well with us and that we're able to actually accomplish because most of us are like, I'm gonna lose 50 pounds this year. But, because I pick weight loss because that's normally what people pick. And
Mhm.
your nervous system is sitting there going, hold the fucking phone. Like, there is no way that I am losing 50 pounds, right? And so I think setting intentions is better for people than resolutions. And I wanted Mary to dive into that because we've talked about setting intentions, but she's just so more eloquent and less vulgar than Mandy and I when it comes to explaining things. So, Mary, please
Let's
take it away.
Yes. No, so it actually was just in 2025 that it was the first time that I ever was
believe I
like,
offered that to you because I said I do intentions. I don't do resolutions.
yeah. Then I was just like, why do I set these goals? Why? Why do I set a resolution? Because do we ever really stick to those types of goals? Like, I mean, there might be some people that can and do, and to you, great. But for the rest of us out here,
For the
we can't.
majority of the population.
And so having an intention, acting with intention on things. So rather than saying like, we'll use the weight loss because it is the simplest one and the most used, rather than being like, I'm going to set the goal of losing X amount of weight, it's I'm going to set the intention of moving my body every day in some fashion. I'm going to set the intention of choosing healthier options more times than choosing unhealthy options. I'm going to set the intention of, going to the grocery store and purchasing the things to make 3 healthy meals a week, right? And having it with the mindset and verbiage of I'm setting these intentions and acting with the intention is different than when you put the goal. Because when you put the goal, you put the end result. And you might every now and then put a little bit of like the goal of working out 2 times a week to reach that goal, but it's applying pressure versus intention is truly something that in you resonate and believes and feels comfortable in taking those actions and doing those things. And so having an intention versus the resolution, the goal, it's allowing us to move in a more regulated nervous state versus that pressure and oh, I have to do this. And if I don't do this, then now we've added shame and guilt and embarrassment because we didn't actually do those things.
Mhm. My intention for 2025 was joy. was to find more joy, to bring more joy, to be joyful. And I think, just reflecting back on the second half of my year. Like the first half, like things were changing, things were moving. I had to make decisions, where am I going to live? What is my work life going to look like, et cetera, et cetera. But, but concert season hit and reconnected that part of my brain that, I mean, I think music for a lot of people is comforting. It is therapeutic. It is all of the things, but getting outside and enjoying music with the people. I mean, I've talked about it on several different platforms about my K-pop experience in Chicago. There were almost 60,000 people in that baseball stadium enjoying each other's company, having the same experience at the same time. And that's just wild to think about. That's wild to think about, like, given everything that's going on and where we are at as a society currently, like having 60,000 people be on the same page and feeling so much joy, like it brings them to tears. It's just, it's insane. And through that joy, through connecting with that part of like teenage me, the lost files of teenage me, I got outside more. I moved my body. I went and traveled for concerts. I went and, you know, had an outfit, designed outfits for concerts. Like that's not something adult me got away from that. I'm like, I'm just gonna go for comfort. No, I want to be fun. I want to have a theme. I want to have the fun hair. I want to do the silly little things. I want to go to the Backstreet Boys pop up and walk around like the TRL set. Like I want to do those things because it's so fucking fun and it's brings joy. And I needed more of that. I needed less. I won't say less responsibility, less feeling the need to be the responsible one all the time, having to feel like I needed to show up a certain way to be professional or whatever, and just more joy. And I think that mindset shift from resolutions to intentions, like you said, Mary, it takes the pressure off of I just have to show up with this intention. Where is the joy in this experience? Where is the whatever it is? Are we moving our body? Am I making good choices for me? Am I excited about this? Whatever. I think intentions get overlooked. Like your intention behind something is something we talk about in therapy with clients or with teenagers. Like, what was your intent behind that? I ask kids all the time, what is the question behind the question? What are you actually trying to get at? What do we need the end result to be here? So there's just more room for reflection.
Well, intention is actually, it really is more powerful than the resolution because it truly is your intent to act upon. I mean, this is really a morbid, fucked up way to put this, but when assessing for suicidality, like we ask
That's
and
yeah.
assess for
Yeah.
the intention because
Mm-hmm.
we can think about which way we would do it to Sunday. We can think about X, Y reasons why we would do it. When would be the best time to do it? All the things. How could we end up having access if we don't have a media? Like, but if my
Mm-hmm.
intention is to not take steps to make said things happen, it doesn't matter. It does, and
Mm-hmm.
this is why we'll safety plan with people that have the weapons in their home and how to make it so it's 20 more steps than the average step to make that plan and to be executed because the intention can get interrupted. Your intention and taking those steps and acting on it. And so, sorry, went super morbid with that, but goals, resolutions, same thing. Like if you just set the goal that this is what you're going to do and this is how you're going to do it, and I can tell you every 2 ways to Sunday how to lose the weight, how to do the damn thing. Does that mean that that's going to happen? Like, what is the intention?
Mm-hmm.
Truly looking at what makes you take action
Mm-hmm.
to accomplish these things that you're saying have importance. So whether that's losing weight, finding the joy, reading the books, changing the career, being a more present parent, all those things. Like what is the intention to actually act on it? And really sit with yourself. Is the intention actually there? Or are you just saying it because, well, it's New Year's and the resolution sounds nice?
Mm-hmm.
I feel that. And I didn't even realize this was an intention I set last year. But with you just saying, like, being an intentional and being a more present parent. So, one of the reasons that I decided that I wanted to go into real estate is because that way I was able to go to anything that Davina asked me to, that I could go to her school and I am the one parent because again, it's so crazy to try getting time off and whatever that could be there and be that present for her, right? And I had said that to myself, and I did. I've shown up to every single thing that she has had last year. And I
Mhm.
think that I did because it was an intention that I actually set that I said, hey, what time? When can I be there? You know, I might not get the best seat in the house. I might half the time she finds me in the crowd. I don't know how she does it, but you know, you see those TikToks where kids are just and then they see your parent, they're like, "Ah, I'm so excited, right? Um, and I am actually really proud of myself for fulfilling that intention for
Mhm.
2025 because the flip side of that is when I started real estate, I had these goals, these ambitions, these things that I was gonna do and crush, and I didn't do any of them. And that just goes because I think, and this is my perception of it, is I think when we set goals that are meant to impress other people than ourselves. And when we
Mhm.
set intentions, they are for us. They are something that we are going to do.
Mhm.
And I think that's part of flipping the script is when you set goals, you know, you're like, "Oh, I want to do this, this, and this." There might be a little thing up here that says, "I wanna do this because I wanna prove somebody wrong. I want to show that I'm able to do it because people doubted me." I mean, there's typically a little bit of revenge and a little bit of spite in our goals, right? And so I feel like when yeah, man. So I feel like when we set intentions, like it actually is like something that feels good to us that we can resonate with. So Mary, when you said that, I was like, holy cow, like I did set an intention unknowingly. I feel like you guys are doing really good. I'm having these reflections the last two episodes. I was like, "Oh my gosh, I really did, set an intention, and I did follow through with that." But when I made goals in my real estate career for 2025, I didn't complete a single fucking one of them. I will be the
Mhm.
first to say that. And so going into 2026, and we've talked about this over the last couple months of me shifting my environment, shifting the way I think, shifting my work schedule, shifting these things to better align with what I actually want and that is doable and that my nervous system accepts rather than what I think this other person needs or to feel guilty. Uh, Again, I mention Rick all the time, but I actually had like a breakdown the other day and I was just crying and he's like, "What?" And I was like, "I'm just disappointing you." And he's like, "Why are you disappointing me?" I was like, "Cuz I haven't done anything that I said I was going to do. I'm not as successful as I said I was going to be." And he's like, "I never said any of that. Like, why are you
Mhm.
putting those words in my mouth?" And he's like, "Don't let those words come out of your mouth again." Like he's like, "You're never disappointing me." And I was like, "But," and it goes back to our last episode. I said something and I put it on him, but it
Mhm.
was actually a reflection back to me. And it was like, "Oh, okay." He's like, "Cassidy, I tell you all the time, I wouldn't put this much money and effort into you if I didn't believe that you could do these things." And so I've been trying to figure out like, okay, my intentions are going to be this, which feels good to me, and therefore I can do more rather than these goals where I'm like, Rick wants me to be a top producer. Rick don't give a fuck. Rick just wants me to be happy and live my life and be a good wife and mother. You know what I mean? So it's like that's my reflection on those things.
Well, and you saying
Mhm.
that about believing that you could and having those things again, piggybacking off of the last episode, and we ended it talking about a our nervous system being regulated is allowing us to receive the good things in life, to be able to see that even if there are negative things happening, where there is that positive thing, identifying at least one good thing out of the day, because I guarantee there's at least one good thing that happened out of your day, even if that only good thing was you woke up and opened your eyeballs. Like, I mean, it just sometimes it's really small, but to focus on those things and to allow yourself to have them. And so, it makes me think of the Halloween Town movie and the grandma teaching Marty how to fly, and they're flying and she says it's really magic's really that simple, like you just have to believe in the thing that you want and set your intention on it and then let yourself have it. And like
Mhm.
that's what we're saying, like it's the what if it all goes right, and letting your nervous system be uncomfortable with that feeling, and if it is uncomfortable with that feeling, exploring why that is, and then pushing yourself to work on and set the intentions to be able to receive then those good things.
That seems to be a revolving theme is you got to let nice things happen. You've got
Oh, yeah.
to allow the good in and allow yourself to be uncomfortable with how that feels. And I'm listening to you guys talk. I'm like, why are we all like this? Why is it so hard for all of us to just like let people be nice to us and let
Just be
people
nice to me.
it'd just be nice, like the politeness aggression or kindness aggression. Like I need people, I need people to threaten me with kindness. Like let me be nice to you because, yeah, even I mean, I'm thinking of today, and it's been chaotic over here: Roomba cleaning, ADHD, Christmas, all of the above, and just thinking of a friend came over to drop stuff off for my kiddo, and she'd give me a compliment. I don't even remember what it was about now, but I initially went to like deflect, went to downplay, or I went to add a disclaimer like we all do. And I caught myself, and it was an awkward moment because she was like, what happened? Like she thought she had offended me. And I was like, thank you. Vomit, vomit. Thank you.
You glitch.
I literally glitched.
I've
It's a
been doing that a
it's
lot lately too. It's been so
mhm,
hard because, we've talked about this too. When you walk into a store and the store attendant asks you, "Hey, do you need help?" You instantly say no. And why? Because it is just a reflex that we have. It is something that we've always done.
mhm,
And half the time you go, "No, I'm sorry, I'm just kidding." And like we all have glitches because we have to rewrite how we do things. And so it is awkward because you're just like, I said no, but that's not what I actually meant. It's
mhm.
just like what word vomited out of my mouth. But you have been doing better because we've been giving you compliments and you've been like, thank you.
Thank you.
It might be a very, ugh, thank you. But nonetheless, you are putting forth the action. So
I might have to think, yeah, I might have to think about that intention for 2026. I think this will be our first episode airing in 2026 after
it is.
all of holiday chaos, after all of, New Year, new me, all that jazz. I think
Yeah.
2026 might just have to be the year I let people be nice to me.
I
Hmm.
think it's not a new me. I think it's better
Hmm.
me. I think
Better me.
it's
Yeah.
maybe even old parts of me
Redefined me,
refined,
reclaimed.
reclaimed. Yes,
I
right?
like that.
Right. It's just about improving what's already there and knowing that whatever's already there is a good enough foundation.
I saw this TikTok and I'm gonna butcher who it is, but for context, it's a realtor dude who's in New York and he did a video the other day and there's 60 minutes in an hour, 24 hours in a day. But, let's just say you don't work all of that. And we'll just say there's 1,000 minutes in a day that you could be working or doing or whatever the case is, right? He's like, I think of my time in dollars now. And he's like, so if something happens to me and it lasts 5 to 10 minutes, he's like, that's $5 to $10. He's like, if am I going to let $10 deprive me of $990 for the rest of the day? Like, fuck no. I would screw the $10. I still have $990 left, right? And I think that's a good way to look at it too, Mary, when you were talking about like what is something to be thankful for. It's even on the days that it is hard and like I cry and like I'm just like, what the fuck, Cassie? I try to be like, okay, this is a moment and I can't let it affect my day because the older Cassie would 100% be crippled. Like if you ruined my day in 5 minutes or ruined me in 5 minutes, the rest of my day was shot. It was gone. And now I'm trying to be like, okay, like whether that's I write it down or I tell somebody, whether that's you guys getting a long Snapchat, me calling Rick. Like I've been learning that I put things out there, even though it's super uncomfortable to me, or like as many times as I cry. And it's so funny that because as soon as you put it out into the universe, it no longer has power because you're talking about it. you've officially like cut it off. And so that is how I am learning, is that I just have to tell somebody or write it down, like get it out. And moving forward, like I can't let that small little piece ruin my whole day. Or, you know, I feel like energies lately. Like when I'm around people, I'm like, this is not for me. I can't. I've got to leave the room. I've got to leave the store. I've got like whatever it is, whatever the universe is trying to tell me. I'm like, this is not for me. You guys have fun, because I can control me, right? I can control removing myself from the situation. But man, there's been a lot of fucking energies lately that I'm like, this is too much for Cassie today. Like,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
I love all of you. Peace be with you. I'm out.
Well, and I'm glad you say that because it's kind of like the other day, and I was like, not. I had this thing that had planned in advance that I was going to do. It was for me, a fun thing, a relaxed, easy thing, not a difficult thing, but yet something was still like, no, like that doesn't actually align with me today. Like aligning with me today is staying in my home that I don't ever get in just solitude of just me and the pets, and that's it, and nobody else in the house, in the space. And that's what felt called to me. But releasing that by not going through with that thing wasn't me not following through, and recognizing that whatever the energy to me that day was saying, like, even though this thing is simple and
Mhm.
is for me, and it's okay to not do that, to not go to that space, that this is the space I need to be in, and allowing myself to sit in that is still me
Mhm,
showing up for me, even though
mhm.
it looks different than showing up in said plans that were previously made.
Right. And I'm well not, but I'm not by any means trying to say like Cassie and I fixed that problem, but you put it out there. Like what I'm
I did.
noticing, like
I put it out there.
Cassie is is snapping us or calling Rick, and Mary's popping in the group chat or going to Snapchat. Like we are all putting it out there. Like, hey, here's the things in my brain. What do you guys notice? What do you guys see? What are your perspectives on that? Because that's a piece, like when we hold on to our shame, or we hold on to our embarrassment, or the things that we think are too much for the world to see. Like Cassie said, when you put it out there, you're reclaiming it, you are owning it. I I hate to do this because I do it so much, but I just watched K-pop Demon Hunters again last night, and I catch new things every time I watch it. And I talk to kids about it all the time. The putting it out there and owning your shame, owning your patterns, owning those pieces that of you that you try to hide, like that is what ends up being the thing that that saves you, that heals the home moon.
Hmm.
Like that's the piece I think that all of us are trying our hardest to get to, and it looks different for all of us. For me, it is letting people be nice to me and say nice things to me, and like sitting with that and letting the good things happen without feeling like I have to earn them, because that's the big piece for me is um I think I shared this on a Snapchat with you guys. I got a Secret Santa gift at work, even though I started late, even though I wasn't part of that process. I was like, everyone was getting their gifts. I got it. Like I showed up 5.5 minutes ago, and somebody got me something, and I immediately went to, I need to know who it is because I need to reciprocate. I need to like give something back to them because they don't know me. Like I don't deserve this. I haven't earned this yet. And I fucking hate that that is my default. Like, here's your pebble. Here's your thing that I thought about for you. And just, it's not transactional. That's a hard piece. That's a hard pill for me to swallow, is that care, love, kindness is not transactional. I give that to the world. Why would I not expect that back? That's literally my word to anyone. Don't be a dick. Like, if you can't be kind, don't be a dick. Just like, be a kind human. And if you can't do that, well, just don't go be a dick to anyone. So why would I think that people are not going to be nice to me or kind to me? I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
I hate that that's such a discomfort.
Um, I got asked when I was making my vision board in November, like, what's your word for 2026? I was like, a word. And they're like, yeah, like, what's your word? And I was like, I don't feel like I've ever picked a word before. Like, what does that mean? And they said, a word that you want to embody for the whole, like, and accept
Mhm.
for 2026. And I was like, and my word that I decided to choose was abundance.
Mm.
It's not tied to any specific avenue of life, but just accepting that I am worthy of more time with my family, that I am worthy of accepting money. I am worthy of helping these clients. I am worthy, like the abundant, and then it'll come in more and more as I accept it. And I think that goes into the nervous system too, is talking about we don't feel like we deserve things. So therefore, those things don't come to us because why would they? There's a shield, there's a block. It cannot get to you if there is a shield, right? And so accepting, like, hey, I can accept these things. And then as soon as that does, more of it comes to you because you are what you attract things, right? And so why can't I attract abundance in different areas of my life? And part of that is in the last couple months of 2025, I learned to put my shield down. I learned to accept things about me that I probably haven't always done. One of them is I would not say that I am an egotistical person, but I would say that I do have a big ego on different areas. And I've had to learn to drop that down and allow people to do things for me because, I know all three of us are, I can do everything for you, but I don't want you to do anything for me because then it's transactional and then I have to do more for you. And it's like, Cassie, your ego's in there. Like, let's drop that down. So I have had to learn to drop my ego. It's work in progress. What do we say? We always say we're healed and healing. And so like just dropping that down, but my word is abundance. And why can't I have an abundance of things come to me? Why am I not worthy? You're damn right I fucking am.
I love that. I'm glad that that is your word for the year.
Yeah.
I know.
Mandy, what would your word be?
Well, that's what I was just kind of trying to reflect on because my word for 2025 was joy. And
You definitely found that.
I definitely did. Like I've manifested that shit hard. I don't know because that's what I'm working on this week is figuring out what my intention, what my word is. But listening to Cassie talk, worthy keeps popping out. Worthy feels like a word that I need to sit with more often of being worthy. But I will explore and unpack that this week. Stay tuned. Vision board of sorts to come.
Say that my word is the word that's come up towards the end of 2025 for me. So it'll be the word that I embody more, which is receive. That I give, and I absolutely abundance and worthy. I own that shit a minute ago, but to receive, that I too can receive the same that I give, to receive peace and joy and all the things that I embody and do.
And that people can help you and you can ask for help.
Can help me. I know you were saying like help. We can help others, but then like help ourselves. And all I could think was the sound of music. It was like anything I could do better. Like this is the song that's coming on.
Damn you, Julia Andrews.
I need to be able to receive. Let you help me.
Maybe that was you manifesting that you need to go to Switzerland and Austria also. Like,
also, I'm.
That's what I would be thinking. I'd be like, you want me to go to the hills where I can sing with the birds?
Yes.
Like, you bet your sweet titties I will.
Yes, that's
like a very merry thing. Let's do that.
That made me just think of Cinderella with the birds around her while she's cleaning. Do, and Snow White. Look at you just being a Disney prince, being a Disney princess.
Go roll around in all the grass in Switzerland.
Yes.
One of the things I was thinking about, Mandy, when you were talking about, joy and going to concerts and stuff, I remember asking you if you could take videos at this K-pop concert and you were just like, I'll see what I can do, because if anybody knows Mandy, she does not take videos of her experiences, and how am I supposed to live vicariously through her shit if she doesn't share it with me? So I specifically asked, because Davina is all about that, all about the anime, the K-pop, the whatever. And I was like, Mandy, can you please take videos for me so I can show Davina, because she'd be so jealous. And I remember after you sent them to me, and it was a while later, like maybe a month or so. And you finally were like, Cassie, thank you for asking me to do that, because now I can reflect back on it, because you wouldn't have taken them otherwise.
No, I would not. I'm very much like try to be in the moment in concerts. But in that moment, I was like, I don't know them. I don't know what's going on. Cassie asked for it. So I'm just going to get it for research purposes. And now my phone yells at me literally every fucking day because I refuse to take the videos off my phone because I like to watch them. I like to watch them back and like get that same giddy feeling.
And it was your
And
first experience too. So
it
what
was,
better thing that
I
you
know,
actually get to relive that
I know.
moment?
I literally relive it. I don't know, often because they just make me so happy. And then I was stalking TikTok bestie Tiana. I already told her this, so it's not it's not weird or creepy. But it kept showing me her old videos. So like I went back and I was stalking her profile and she posted her like intro video. This is who I am to TikTok. Like I'm making an effort to be a TikTok content person on June 26th, which is the day that I went to the Stray Kids concert in Chicago. And that is the day, like, I would not have gone down that path. I would not have connected with all of these people had I not had that experience there. And she, on the same day, like, that's when she started putting herself out there on social media and posting, and like the algorithms started doing their things. And I was like, that's such a little coinky dink, except, nothing's a coincidence. I know nothing's a coincidence, but it's wild. It's wild. But yes, I think about that all the time, Cassie. I'm like, thank God Cassie asked for videos, and thank
What a
God.
weird thing, hindsight, right? Like, why
Mhm.
the fuck is this chick asking for her kid for me to take a
Mhm.
video? I'm an adult going to this concert that you were
Mhm.
like, okay, they asked me to go, I'll show up. And now look at behind you, look at all the things, like, because you allowed it.
Yes.
And, I'm glad, Davina was like, hey, ask her to take these videos. And I asked you and you did
Oh my
them.
God.
But I just think that goes to show too, like, do stuff that makes you happy, that makes you giddy, because this
Oh my
life
God.
sometimes can just be a fucking shit show, dumpster
Mhm.
fire, like, oh. And so if you can find the things that make you happy, like,
Mhm.
why not do them? And
Mhm.
I know one of the hardest topics I think about is I always think of relationships when I think of happy because, I'm in this incredible relationship with Rick. He's just the cutest little thing. He's not little, I guess, but whatever. Like, I think about, how when I was in other relationships and wanting to seek validation, I was giving them all of my things and I was still unhappy. I was still getting yelled at. And heck, I was yelling because, you're a mirror. You reciprocate what you're getting, right? And so I just think about stuff like that and how in the last episode we talked about, making pivots and how ending relationships, whether it's friends, platonic, or in, a serious relationship, is fucking hard and it will rip you apart and you will hit some form of rock bottom. But
Mhm.
hindsight is that because and you think that nothing will ever get better because you've been beaten into you that nothing will be fucking better, right? And then when it does, you're like, why didn't I do this sooner? But again, we just talked about that.
Mhm.
Nothing is coincidence. Things happen when they happen. I don't wish a lot of things that have happened in my life on anybody, but it has made me who I am today. And the growth from that can make me a better human. And again, all of us have different stories on this podcast, but just knowing that you don't know the answers and that's okay. But you can want to be better or move forward or know that you don't deserve whatever shitty thing is happening. If that's a job, man, I'm the first to tell you I've probably had 20 jobs in this life because I've told a lot of people to fuck off. I did not like things because I didn't like the situation or how they were treating me. And I let it happen. And then I was like, nope, don't feel bad. Next job. But just knowing that you want to go to concerts and you were like, man, this is so unfucking comfortable. I would have never guessed. But you said one yes. That one
Mhm.
yes to going to a concert has now
Mhm.
changed the last 6 months for you.
It
Mary,
really has.
lots of things have happened for you. And you said yes to one thing, which has allowed all of these things to happen. Or hell, I'll just use this podcast, for instance. You bet yes on yourself and you have allowed these things to happen. And I mean, there's more to come. Obviously, we've done this podcast now for 3 months. It's just the very, very beginning. But nonetheless, you still took a chance on yourself and you said, yes, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I have these two friends that are like, sure, we'll go on this adventure with you and look at where it's gone. And so I think with the listeners, it's just like realizing that You don't have to know everything. And honestly, you won't. There's never a perfect time. If you wait for perfect, you're going to be waiting for your whole life because I'm here to tell you, I like to just plan things out and then execute it. And I have definitely learned over the last year that I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing, but I'm going to go try anyways. And we're going to see what happens because there is no perfect time. And you want to know what? I'm better because I started. I am now a year in because I started. Mary is 3 months in on this thing because she started. Mandy, you're 6 months in because you started, right? And I just think that that's important to know too, is there is no perfect time, and that today, at this moment, is the best time to do whatever it is that feels kind of scary to you. So,
Do the scary things.
The best plan is the plan that you never had to begin with, and letting it just unfold, going with the flow of it. And so, saying yes to the random thing, or GPS takes you a different way and you pass by and
fuck
see a store that
GPS,
you've
man.
never seen before and you're like, wait a minute, what's that store? And you want to go in there and then you find this thing. And sometimes I think the greatest thing we can do for ourselves is say, today I am not in control. Today I am letting the universe, Gus, whatever, be in control, and just see where it takes you. See what comes into your life that day. See what leaves your life that day. And could be your next big thing that happens.
I think that's the encouragement. That's the encouragement I hope we leave all the listeners with for 2026. Not every day will be great. Not every day will be rainbows and fucking unicorns, but every day there is an opportunity to say yes to an experience, to let Gus be driving the bus, to show up in situations, be that work, be that social, as parents, what have you, to just show up and give yourself the opportunity to be curious. What can I learn? What joy can I find? What experience can I have? And sometimes, experiences are not all good. Some of them are bad. Some of them are neutral. Some are like, that was my no thank you bite in life. I don't want to do that again.
Some
But
of those
that's
experiences teach you what you don't want, so it's a good thing that it
correct.
happens so you can
Correct.
find more that you do.
Yeah. So you can find the things that align with you, so you can move forward with your intentions for the new year of whatever that is. For Cassie, abundance; for Mary, receiving; for me right now, worthiness. That feels like everything has just built up to that moment for the new year of 2026. Be intentional.
Intentional.
So maybe with that said, we started this podcast because we want all of you to just go be all that you are, go be too much. And going into this new year, we want you to embrace that on a whole new level. And what's to come with this podcast is hopefully showing you more and more of just that. So we'll end it there. I hope you guys have a great new year.
Bye.
Bye.